It's always good to see you, pal.
You too. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. Last time it was on Zoom, and I appreciate you just doing that because, really, I mean, you did me a solid there. Did me a favor. Thanks for being here.
Always a treat, man.
I gotta say, I went to see the Bond movie on the big screen, and to hear your the theme, "No Time to Die," and it was unbelievable.
Thanks, man.
It was fantastic. How
That was
does it?
cool.
It was beautifully done, beautifully shot. Were you excited? Did you eventually find the movie's been pushed 3 times?
I know. We talked about it when I was here 2 years ago.
Yeah. Daniel Craig came on the show 3 times for the same movie. It was unbelievable.
I thought he was buffer every time.
He kept getting more and more shape.
By the last time, he was like, he was huge.
He was just, we had nothing to talk about. The third time, I'm like, we've already talked about the whole movie. Let's just drink a martini.
Every clip.
Yeah,
just
we've
the whole
shown
movie
everything.
in clips.
But did you get to go to the premiere?
We went to the premiere, which is the Royal Albert Hall in London.
With the royal family and everything?
The royal family, yeah.
What did it feel like?
It was crazy. We're Americans, so we're not prepped on all the sort of customs with royalty, and we were told by our publicist right before we went out, like, you don't really like look at them in the eye, and they talk first. You don't speak first. You bow your head, and then like this is all real stuff, and you refer to them as your Royal Highness.
But every one of them?
Yeah, all of they're all your Royal Highnesses,
Wow.
and so we're like, okay, and then after that you can say ma'am or sir or whatever, and so we're like standing there, we're all nervous, and they come in and they're just like, hello, and they were so casual, and they like shook hands, and no one else was doing your Royal Highness stuff, but we didn't know if that was because they were all English and we were American, so we were like, it's lovely to meet you, Royal Highness. Like we whispered, like we were like, you know what I mean?
Just kind of tooted it out. Yeah. What a treat. That's
so cool.
Speaking of other the English treats, how's that for a segue?
I like it.
You got a, you won a Grammy for the 2nd year in a row for Record of the Year.
Crazy.
And presented to you by the one and only Ringo Starr.
I know, the Beatle.
What's it like to be handed a Grammy from a Beatle?
So it was the very end of the ceremony, which you've been there. They're long. They're many. They're hours and hours long. So you're hungry at the time.
And at this point, are you a winner or are you?
We'd already won a song a Grammy way earlier in the night for the Bond song.
Yes.
And this was the final category of the night. It was Record of the Year. I mean, there's always steep competition, but this year it was like, Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce. It was steep. And Billy and I were just had loved Megan Thee Stallion so much that year that we were just like, she's gonna sweep, like, no question.
Yeah.
And so Ringo walks out, and I'm like, damn, Megan Thee Stallion gets to meet Ringo Starr. That's pretty cool.
I always wanted to meet him,
And then they called our name, and I was like, I get to meet Ringo Starr. So I was so excited.
I mean, come on, right? And did you? What did he say? Did he talk to him at all? Did he get to really? Did he bond?
Ringo loves this. This is like a big Ringo.
Of course,
thing. He loves the
peace and love.
Peace and love.
That's right.
And he said he said something really sweet to us. Very casually, congratulations, and whatever, lovely to meet you. And I said, oh man, it's such an honor. And he turned and he walked away.
No, you have to say Your Highness to Ringo
right.
Starr.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's true.
He was like, well, you don't know the rules.
You
You don't know the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You learn. You got to live and learn, right? I follow you on the socials because I think you're very funny and interesting, as well as a great musician and producer and everything. But you tweet things out where I go like, man, and they just make me think sometimes. They make me laugh most of the time.
Thanks, man.
But here's one. There's a couple here. This one says, how about this? A funeral, but the person isn't dead, and you all get together and talk about everything they've done that annoyed you. Why would you think about that?
Because I was thinking about funerals, and I was thinking about how everybody just cries and talks about how wonderful the person was and how they were full of light and love. And I would be in the back like, also one time they didn't return my CD.
They all say they weren't
And
perfect.
so that's not acceptable to do at a funeral, I don't think.
How about this? This one here says, I effing love the subway in New York. You remember doing that?
I don't know why the actual New Yorkers in the room clapped, because the New Yorkers online booed that tweet. They did not like that tweet at all.
Really?
Yeah. It's better than the public transit in every other city in America.
This last one here, I'll just show. This one's a video because you post a lot of videos as well. He's a good follow, as I said.
Thanks.
And thank you. And this one is not a video you shot on your phone.
No.
Or a camera, or was anyone on. This was your backyard.
It's my security camera. I was like refilling the pool one day, and like looked over and saw something, and do you want to just show the video?
I just think it's great. Well, no, here's I want to set up a little bit more because what's funny is you fell in the pool, and you're talking to Billy. You're talking to your sister,
Yeah.
and you go, "Dude, the weirdest thing, man. I fell in the pool today."
Yeah,
I was
that's right.
thinking, and she goes, "Did you get it on video?" And you go,
I was like, no, I wasn't filming.
"I'm not doing this for a thing."
Yeah, it was an accident.
And she goes,
She's like, we have security cameras.
Check the security camera.
Security footage.
"So here's security footage of Phineas refilling his pool. Check this
right.
out. There's you."
Yeah, holding the hose.
Yeah,
just doing
no
my
big deal.
job.
Yeah, just hanging out. Yep. Whoop. Jeez. There's no way. You can't act that. You can't act that. It's like, because you almost tried to save yourself
Oh,
at
yeah.
one point. At one point, you're like, I got this. No way. I'm not going in. So you try to save yourself, then you're like, oh, man, I just went in and just started.
I was trying to correct. Like I was
Yeah.
on ice skates where you're like, not today.
No, and gosh, it was fantastic. Thank you for letting us show that. I want to talk about your debut album, Optimist.
Yeah.
There you go. You're performing here on the show and tonight, which thank you so much. Which song are you playing tonight?
I'm doing a song called Only a Lifetime tonight, which...
Only a Lifetime tonight. And you have an interesting story about the first time you performed on our show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I came for some answers tonight, if it's okay.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll set the scene briefly. It's 2018. I think it was like March 2018.
Yeah.
We get the call. Billy gets to play on the Tonight Show for the first time.
Yeah.
This is a huge deal for us. Still is every time, but the first time is like nothing else.
Yeah.
And so we're super nervous. We're excited. You come in the dressing room. You say hi to her. You're very sweet. We go out. We're not seasoned yet. We've only done like one tour so far. We're doing her song Bellyache. It's me. I was playing acoustic guitar. We had a drummer, and then Billy. We're all in like jumpsuits for like paint. Like we look like painters. We look like people who paint.
Yeah.
And we're on stage. We do our song, and I'm like, my heart's kind of pounding.
I think it went well.
And we felt pretty good about it. We were like, no, we didn't bomb. All right. And you come over, and the Roots start jamming, and they're crushing it. You come over, you're taller than I thought you would be. I didn't think you'd be short, but you're tall. Like, you're tall. I think.
Yeah, I think it's well, I'm behind the desk, so everyone just kind of assumes that I'm like about 3 feet tall. I'm like a Muppet. When they meet me, they're like, Elmo is much taller, yeah. But
so you're taller than I thought. So I'm a little thrown off, but I'm like, great, we'll roll with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was expecting shorter. It's fine. And you're like, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. The Roots are just killing it, just rocking out. I've watched the show since you started the show. I'm so excited, and I'm clapping. I'm looking over, and you guys do your crescendo at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm just like smiling and clapping, looking at Quest. And Quest put his sticks in one hand, and he pointed right at me, and he flipped me the bird. And then,
Wait, what?
And then they all left. They all left, and I was standing there like clapping, and Questlove, who I'd never met, had just flipped me the bird, and everybody left. And then
Sure I didn't do this.
No, that's Ringo, dude. That's Ringo does that.
it was not peace or love.
Hey!
And so I'm like shocked, and then your producer goes, "We're gonna just do the song one more time." And I think they aired the second take, and we're like, I look like I've seen a ghost. And I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Never. Guys, Phineas is here. He would never. Optimist is out right now. Stream it, pick it up wherever you buy records.
Hey, hey.